My dad was an extraordinary man. He was an organized, neat, with a sense of humor, and he knew exactly what model to choose when raising his kids with his wife. You know what? I usually say to people, to have a dad at my age, it was just a fulfillment in my life.
When you left nursing after over 30 years and everybody was sort of like not happy, you are still young, we all couldn't get why you were leaving. And now today, you know, questions you may not ask because the answers have been given. That in the last days of Dad, you had to nurse him, no longer nursing a patient, but nursing a loving dad. And the bond that you've had actually takes me way back from the bond you've always had with him.
Unfortunately for you, Linda, as Tina, we are from different homes. Me, Spakes and Sfee. We are lucky to have Tata as our father-in-law. I remember by the time Dandifika, my biological mother came to visit me. Then Tata came to my house. My mother is living in Lalismos. She said to me, Matona, where is your Ikea? Hey, I took this duke. Then when father came in, she asked, Gwanda, is there something wrong? Kuteni says Ikea. So Tata was just a jocular somebody all the time.
And with a great sense of humor. I mean, Tamkulu, if he was talking about anything and people were being serious about things, you know, he would always turn it around and make it some kind of joke, you know, and you never quite knew, you know, when he was joking and when he was serious, because he always had that joke coming in and out. So.
Well, for me, I remember Dad as a real special father, and I really felt at home when I joined the Ngaba family, having lost my biological father. Ndabona bandifumene utata in reality because of his calmness, utata. Ubungabi nayo lanto ithi uyancancazela uyoyika njengomakoti.
For you, that was a double deck.
Yeah. There's another aspect that I think we were sort of depriving Dad, the fact that we were not like visiting Butterworth more often. It made me feel bad during the last days of his life, because he would talk about going to Butterworth every now and then. I even thought, as a remembrance to my dad, I have to build, whether it's an 8-corner or a flat, and visit Butterworth every week or every month, just to get that connection.
That would be nice, because I know that there is a plan by Budandile to do some memorial stones. I think that is going to make it a big thing, and he would really brighten up if everyone is talking about going to Butterworth.
Yes, utata mosi mna dingumampila uSV is mampinga. Utata bengayithanda into ba bengathi xa ebhuda into yakorekishwa uthetha ngam athi mampinga. Wonke umuntu apha endlini ikhona ke mosla element apha endlini yoba umuntu abengathi tyiwa ngamaxhalanga xa bephendula, hayi tata, this is not mampinga, it's mampila. Uthi utata bendithe mampinga, khange ndithi mampila. Whereas bethe mampinga, so utata bengulo muntu unjalo ekufuneka nim-understande. Bekumnandi uhlala notata, really.
I think for me, one of the things is just the calmness, going back to the calmness of Tamkulu. You know, I mean, you get so used to thinking that, you know, to be more effective, you know, you have to raise your voice, you know, you have to be strong. And I think in him that I saw somebody who was totally different, that a head of the family doesn't have to necessarily, you know, he was calm in the background, and at the same time he pushed so much. And I mean, for me, it was just amazing watching all of that. I mean, really enjoyed that.
And really for me, what I'm happy about is the way I've seen Udad on his very last days, when he could not do anything, when he could just sit in bed, the decency that he was handled by the only daughter he had, Unoma. You know, it touched me. It makes you feel like if you would have another life, you would have loved to have a parent that you would handle him like this. They had a special bond as a daughter and father. And Unomama would even strictly make it a point that when Dad's food is being prepared, it must be put on the best tray cloth, the best plate. And I'm like, wow, what can we do without her? You know, we're so far away. You wish you could come home. Things happen and you just cannot come home. But you know deep down you that he's been taken care of. The way he was handled, the way his room was planned and organized, he just left gracefully. You wouldn't walk in and see there's a sick person in the house. The smell in the bedroom, the freshness. Well, in Dombaki with all the neatness and the fanatic. Umakulu was literally watching this happening and sitting back, and it was a wow for everyone. And sitting here, I mean, may he rest in peace. He's had everything. And the fact that he chose to live with my son and to be proceeded and ushered by my son, it makes me feel a little bit proud and take a pain away from me to have my son, my only child, ushering for Dad. And I see him as a perfect person to do that.
I was proud, Gelinda, one other Sunday. No mama, Ntombi Katata, was visiting brothers at Joburg. I arrived in the morning, we were there with Soso. Tata didn't eat. During the day, we were there with Mama. Tata didn't eat. Then late, after 5, we went again. Then that time, the tattoo Tata. Oh, even the nurses, they said, Chini molokazana fune kumanu siza qhoza mkisa. So I felt that at least I am a second daughter.
That's nice. Having said something about Usoso, you know, firstborn Gadich, one of the most humble kids in the family, they had a connection with Dad. Usoso is just like Dad. I don't know, so I don't remember. Usoso now is almost 31, 32. So I don't remember Soso shouting. Just like Dad. And they would walk together slowly, and I always wondered to sort of, what are they talking about? Because even if you ask Soso, what do you talk about, Dad? Soso just smiles and said, yeah, we're just talking. And I'm like, oh, we'll never know these two, what are they talking about? But that is the connection that Dad had with his grandchildren. Very lovely.
Certainly, I think Dad resembled a life of a noble man. And I could say that he really was an example, a leader of the household. There's so much that I have learned from Tata, and I think as a family we have been blessed. It is not just the length of the number of years that a person has had in life, but the depth of the life that the person has lived, that really, for me, is fundamental. So Dad was a man and a father, and I will remember him as such.
Wow, and he liked oh, Dad's face lightens and brightens, like you can go on, and when you don't go on, he adds up for you to say oh mahlahlana and all that, and you can see he's a noble man. Yeah.